What's up, everybody? It's Friday. Welcome to the Nerd Den. Andrew, Zach, and Dusty. We don't know where Avery is. He'll come around, I'm sure. He's probably like lost in some kind of gaming match or something like that.
Or sleeping. It's always
sleeping
a possibility.
Is okay. He doesn't sleep enough. Yeah, I think that's okay. I'll tell you, before we jump into stuff, it's been a pretty busy week. We're wrapping up interviews for Web3 Comic-Con. In fact, I'm going to show you just really quick. I'm going to do this on the fly here. Check this out. Let's see, share screen. And I got to push all the buttons so I can share screen. So Web3 Comic-Con is 11 days away, to answer Zach's question from earlier. Oh, God. We still have a lot to do, but we'll get there. It's good.
Put the link in the comments, please.
The link in the comments. You got it.
Yes.
Hold on. Here, link in the comments. Good call.
Good call.
Yeah,
are you recording? Are you broadcasting? Okay.
Yeah. Well, it's good to make sure because I'm kind of beat. So,
yep.
So we got, just wanted to show you kind of our featured guest list. I'll just run through it real quick. We got Scott Herman from Wagman Games, Zeneca from Zen Academy, and 333, Bear Snake from Forgotten Runes, Mina Salib from Axiom Space, Extreme Tom from Cool Cats. We just got so many good people in here. We've got Josh Ong, Caitlin and Shay from DC NFT. We've got Rad TV. We've got Theta Labs, Uldor, Gripner, Block of Horror. I don't want to name everybody because I'm going to leave people out. McFarlane Toys, Trevor Dietz, awesome guy. We also have Spencer and Sean from Comics and Crypto. So we've got a lot of great people in here. Josh Blaylock, Devil's Due, a lot of really awesome people, and it's going to be a big event, man. It's I don't even know how many interviews. I think it's like 30, 35, 36 different interviews with 40 people. That's right. MK says Ben from Huxley. Nice. Yep. Absolutely. Oh, sorry, MK didn't get the notice. Yeah, 11 days, KG. It's crazy. It doesn't. I'm ready. I think Dusty and I are ready.
Yes.
Like, we're very ready. It's been great. It's been a tremendous lift. Here, I'll even show you. I'm going to share with you guys something. This is. I'll share with you the intro video. So basically what we're doing is we had Kyle, who some of you might know, some of you might not. Kyle's someone who's been working with us. He's a phenomenal game dev guy. Probably nothing, but he was working with Flint a little bit, and they ended up doing this little intro that we can use at the beginning of each interview, right? Because we're trying to make this as legit, a convention as possible. Even though it's online, we're like, how can we make this really feel like a legitimate convention that just happens to be online as opposed to kind of a shortcut. So check this out. This is, let's see there. How can I? Oh, it's not going to let me do this. This might not. Tell me if you can hear the audio. It didn't give me an audio option. Can you hear the audio? Isn't that wicked? Isn't that wicked? Come on, that's wicked. You can say yes.
All right, I think I missed it. Sorry, I was listening for more.
Definitely try it again.
Play it again.
All right, you heard the music though, correct?
Play it again. Play it again.
All right, here we go.
That's very cool.
Right? It's super. I really like it's so retro 80s considering that we're doing something like very, very, very cutting edge and modern and all that good stuff. I think it's pretty funny. MK says cool intro. Thank you, man. Yeah, super 80s. So
now, who did that? Who made that?
So that was, where have you been? Dusty's laughing because I just said it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was busy registering at the Web3 Comic-Con site, so I'm sorry.
You're
distracted. I'm so
Thank you,
sorry.
man.
Should I go back and stop?
No. Thank you for your patronage, sir. Your email address will be treated with all due respect.
Like you didn't already know it.
So the audio and beginning half of the graphics, well, most of it was done by Kyle Brick, and his background is in gaming, especially with like retro gaming, and we might be working with him on a few things. Not saying anything. But and then Flint did the sort of those waveforms on that last shot because he's really good with the 3D stuff. So he just kind of busted that out. Cool. MK says, "Well played, Drew." Kara says someone needs to wear a power glove during an interview with that in the background. Yeah, 100%, man. I love it. I think it's a really cool addition, and yeah, counting down what's left. Now most of the interviews are done. There might be one or two coming up. I'm gonna try to do. Time's running short, and to be honest, I'm really beat. But I've got some opportunities to do some podcasts next week. So I'm gonna do my best to do that. We'll see if I can get the scheduling right and get everything on board. And then right now, what we're doing is getting ready for the day of stuff. So now that we got all the interviews, we're doing editing and files and renders and deliverables and all that stuff. So we should have that. We should have that pretty much ready to go. I'm hoping that'll be done internally. It'll be done next week. And then we'll have like a few days to test and make sure that everything is working. And MK says grind for sure. And he says, crack that whip, Dusty, get him on those pods. Yeah, I know. It's one of those things I have to do, but to be honest, like, and I know, me, like I usually don't have a problem hopping on like a podcast or promoting or anything. It's just, I'm really beat. And like, kind of the last thing I want to do is think about this anymore. It's just that, you know how it is. It's like with any big project, we've been working on this for months. So with any big release, it's like the last 10% is just the hardest because we're just gassed out, like almost gassed out. We'll get there. We'll get over the finish line, but we're going to be taking a week off, I think, after at least. We're going to take a week off after this. Dusty can have 24 hours, but the rest of us will take off a week,
Well, Web3 Comic-Con is August 16th through 18th, and I've already booked my flights for August 19th to the most remote part of Alaska I can possibly go, and I'm leaving my phone at home.
That's right.
Todd, 24 hours off for him is very generous. I'd knock that down to 16 or 18. Just
I didn't do it.
That's pretty good.
I just realized Dusty's back today.
Yes, I
Welcome back, Dusty.
Thank you.
MK says it sucks most towards the end. Definitely reboot after the con. KG says big vacay for sure. Yeah, anytime Andrew gets kicked is pretty damn funny. So.
Well, what's so funny? If you notice, before you started the countdown, I was starting to tell you guys a story, and I stopped.
Yes,
because I knew you were going to hit that
I was going to hit the button. Yes, I know. Yes. I wasn't fast enough. So, well, that's actually a good place to spin off because you were actually in the green room, Andrew, and you were talking about something. I completely forgot what.
Yeah, I kind of forgot too.
No, you were talking about something you got on eBay and something about the shipping. What's the deal now?
Yes. Well, for any of you out there who have bought things on eBay before, you buy one item from somebody and they charge you the shipping. You buy 4 or 5 items, they often will combine the shipping, and it makes it more feasible. So what I've been doing lately is I'll find an issue, a CGC slab book that I'm interested in. I go check out the person's other listings. And if they have more listings that I'm interested in, I'll follow several of them and I'll try to win more than one. Yesterday or the day before, there was somebody had 4 books I was interested in. I ended up only winning one, so I'm stuck with a $15 shipping bill. But tonight I actually bid on 6 different books. I won 4 of them, and the person combines the shipping. So the shipping, instead of $9 a piece, is only going to be $14.50 for all 4, which makes the fact that if I want to put them in my store and resell them, my cost will be a lot cheaper, meaning I can make more money selling them at a reasonable price. But when I originally went to go finish with this guy with the order, I requested a final invoice, and a message from eBay popped up that said, "This seller does not combine shipping." And I'm like, son of a gun, that sucks. Well, then I went to the listing, and he actually had it in the notes that if you order up to 4 books, he will combine the shipping for $14.50 instead of $9 each, which that's exactly what I was hoping for. But he must have it set like a default setting in PayPal, or not PayPal, eBay, that gives that notification. And that, when I saw it, the first thought that went through my mind is, well, that's the last time I'm buying from this guy. But now that I know that in the listing he actually has it different, and he's going to make things right, I just know he will, I'm okay with it now. I'm more comfortable with it now. What's funny is there's a guy that's got a bunch of CGC books up right now that I'm following, several of them, including some classic, really nice books that I would love to have just for myself. In his note, he will combine up to 4 books, but if you order more than 4, he has to put them in separate packages, and you end up paying for separate shipping. Unless you order 10, then he combines them in one big box, which either way, I always say, if I know the rules, I can follow by them. So if I know what the rules are, that's how I play. That's how I play the game. And he's got a bunch of books that I can't wait to see if I've got bids in on. There's a copy of Batman number 497. It's a 9.8 copy. That's the Bane breaking Batman's back issue. Yeah. I'm like, I'm giddy, because these are books that were very, very influential when we were kids and collecting, because we all had that issue.
Yeah.
I don't think I have it. I don't think I've had it in years. But to have a 9.8 graded, I'd put that on the shelf, or I'd display it in the room, and I'd be thrilled to have it. It's currently up to $32, and it's got a day left, and 13 bids put it at $32. So that's one. I'm currently the high bidder on it. I don't remember what I put as my minimum, but I would absolutely love to have it. Speaking of books that I would love to have, this week, since I last talked to you guys, I've gotten 10 books in the mail. And I now have...
So you have an addiction now, Andrew? Little bit, yeah.
Little bit.
All right.
I'm having a lot of fun. And I've actually put some in the store. I put some on the bookshelf for me. Carrot says, so I'm hearing I only need to bid 33? Not really. Let me see. What did I put my max bid at? Let me look real quick.
MK says that series was super influential to him, and Carrot says the only tricky part of the combined shipping with auctions is you only end up winning one.
Well, that's what happened to me last night. I won one of the 4 I was trying for. So,
well, MK says, Drew, mine aren't slabbed, but if I look to reduce my collection sooner, I'll keep you in mind to send to.
Oh, absolutely.
Wait. Why would you want to reduce the size of your collection? I don't understand. Some
people do, Todd. I do not blame them for that.
It doesn't make any sense.
I do not blame them for wanting to reduce the size of their collection. There is a one immutable fact about comic books. They're made of paper, and they weigh a ton. People get tired when they have to move of lugging comics from place to place to place. So if you have, I always tell people, if you have some that you're willing to get rid of, give me a call. Let me see what you got. I'll make you an offer. But if it's stuff that you want to keep forever and ever and ever and ever and give to your kids and give to your grandkids type of thing, that's cool too, But yeah. So speaking of which, I got 10 new books since last time we talked. And I'm torn. You want to know why I'm torn?
What part of you was torn?
7 of the 10 I want to put on my bookshelf and keep forever. Did you kick Todd?
We just kicked Todd from his own show. Yes, we did.
Why did we do that?
He didn't even hear me.
Too
dude.
far, sir. Too far.
It's the ripping and the tearing.
Too far.
Yeah, MK says if you knew it went to someone like Drew, it makes it easier. Yeah. And Kara says, I saw your Batman versus Predator comics on your channel today, Drew. If you decide to have your stuff online, I'll take a closer look.
Okay. Well, I'm still not doing online sales just yet. I'm getting the itch to start putting stuff up on eBay. I'm getting back into eBay again.
Okay.
But honestly, it's a whole nother job, and I can't commit to a whole nother job right now. Not until I get rid of at least one of them. And that'll probably happen next year. Oh, shit. I forgot to tell you.
You have a heart attack? Okay. You okay? Are we all right?
No. I got a notification from YouTube that I reached a new milestone on my channel.
Oh, what's that?
1 million views.
Hey,
Nice.
congratulations.
Hey, awesome. Congrats,
And
man.
what's so funny is I'm looking at the graph of my views over the lifetime of the channel. And when the channel started, I didn't have any videos, so there was no views. The graph literally goes like this. Like in the last 2 years, it goes crazy because everything exploded with the scam channels. And I'm like, I don't keep track. I don't pay attention to the numbers, but I got the little thing, 1 million views. And I'm like, holy crap, that's awesome.
That is awesome.
And I'm at 46, 70 something subscribers. So I'm kicking butt on that too.
Steady growth.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. I'm loving it. And I get a lot of interaction from the people. I get lots of comments every day. And Todd, I mean, Avery knows the live stream, which is we just have a great time just talking to people, gets new people and returning people every single week. So
no, man, you found your groove on it. You know, like you've been live streaming for God, dude, you were live streaming 6 years before I started.
Well, what's so funny is I have some live stream videos that I thought were fantastic videos with you guys just having a ball.
Mm-hmm.
And they may have like 30 or 40 views. My live streams now get 60 to 70 views in the hour and then get 3 or 4 times that over the next 2 days because there are people that watch them after the fact. So, which is kind of cool. I love it.
That's wicked, bro. That's wicked. That's absolutely fantastic.
Just going to keep making videos and having fun doing it.
Yeah, that's the challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're actually talking about like Carrot says, "Well, 1 million, do you get one of those cool records now?"
I don't think so. I think it's when you get
subs, right?
It's subscriber. Yeah, I think you get the first one at 100,000 or 1,000. No, 100,000.
100,000.
100,000. Yeah. So
yeah,
hey.
So still got a ways to go for that, but I mean, it's going to happen. You know.
Yeah. Well,
it's just a matter of time. I think. I was trying to think. Like, one of the things that we're thinking about is like. Well, I mean, we were going to talk. We'll talk about this later. Well, we'll talk about it now. But I was actually going to probably do like a summoners call like after Web3 Comic Con to kind of dive into this stuff. But so for those that don't know, like summoners are like basically everybody here, like the most awesome people in adult fantasy. But
you mean me?
Yes, Andrew. It's the Andrew show. Summoning a burrito, maybe, but you know. Oh, come on, or Peeps. I don't know, but no,
chicken nuggies with barbecue
chicken
sauce.
Nuggies. No, it was we've spent we've only been around. It feels like forever, but I mean we've only been doing this like live since launch. Like we launched about a year and a half ago, like a little over a year and a half ago, and I mean. The amount of stuff we've created and launched combined with like, so basically like the first year, 2022 was like just showing that we were legit. We know we were legit, but the market doesn't. So we were like, let's release stuff, put stuff out like on a consistent basis to show that we can do it. And then mid 2022, when we saw the market kind of going down, we were like, okay, well, we need to be like a little more recession proof to make sure that we can kind of keep going. Especially, I mean, I wouldn't say that it's a benefit to not like make $10 million in the mint, but if you're not going to make 10 million in the mint, then you might as well be recession proof, right? So we launched Super Secret, which is basically the way that Evening Alpha started was so that we could collect founders and other projects that we could trust for our collabs, for giveaways and drops and raffles and all that kind of stuff. Because it was like, people in Discord were like, do you trust these guys? And we're like, not really. Like, do your own research, guys. Peace out. And we're like, yeah, maybe we should do what we can to try to connect with these other projects. And so doing the podcast transformed into like, well, when the podcast is over, we lose contact with these people. Why not see if we can get everybody, all these founders in a group? So we started building this founder alliance thing so that when anyone in the group could launch something, then everyone else can promote it. And that's in the works now and growing. And then that turned into Web3 Comic-Con. And so we've proven that we can launch stuff. And then we also now have like the founder level, like we've kind of got the networking piece that work. Like we've proven it. Like for us, it works. Like when we want to add people, we add people. Like we have the founder network, that piece is done, or at least the system works. And validated. And now we're kind of moving into your territory, Andrew, where it's like, cool, now it's time to build like after Web3 Comic-Con, it's the audience building time. And that's going to be the longest piece, right? Because none of this ever ends. You got to always build your network and you always got to build your audience. And so like, I think we're going to be experimenting more, like get more serious with the YouTube channel and like, start really seeing what type of content fits. Because the challenge is, and maybe that you guys would be great at this, like the things that I don't want to do is like I don't want to do like the crazy hard thing with the comic book thing. And Andrew, you found your niche, but your niche became like scam channel stuff, right? Like it's smart because you could probably sell your comics and your indie stuff because people like you for the scam stuff, right? Like they know you as Andrew the artist, but you're also the one getting the scam calls, right?
Right.
You could just as well sell a book, an audio book, or you could probably sell a transcribed book of your best calls as an ebook, and it would probably sell just as well, right? Just because that would be something tied to your brand that you have on YouTube, right? Not saying you're going to do that.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody would buy that, to be honest.
I'm not saying you're going to do that, but I bet people would. Like the best scam calls, I promise you it would probably sell, but it doesn't matter. Like when we're doing things like what we're doing, where you're creating characters and telling stories and games and comics and animation and toys and all this kind of stuff, it becomes a little harder, I think. And it could be me just overthinking, but I think the challenge that we have is like the people who are super independent that are making good money and building really huge audiences in that space kind of have hit the like culture war button. Right? For better or worse, some of them were forced to do it. Some of them chose to do it. I don't really want to go there if I can at all help it. Like,
arguing with the idiots is exhausting.
And you have
to be willing to argue all day long because they never.
Right, and I don't mind the arguing. I really don't. But my challenge is I'd rather try to bring people together. Like I feel like at this point it's like, can we all? I hate to sound like I
mean, they'll eventually come for you anyway.
I'm sure, but I know they will. I'm surprised it hasn't happened already with some of our characters. But like, it's just the challenge is like outside of that button, like, comic book live streams don't really work. Drawing streams don't really work. Like those audiences are too small. So I have to experiment. I've thought about maybe like going into like creator economy stuff or things like that. I'm not really sure. It's just like experimenting like Andrew did.
There are success.
I want to avoid like, it's like the two things I kind of feel like I want to avoid is like, definitely don't want to do like culture war bullshit. And I tried a little bit of like news, like Web3 news, and that got some traction. But the problem is that there's not it's it's not enough of it. Like it was actually was a lot of work because I kind of had to like scrape the, like it was very difficult to find stuff that was like newsworthy every single day. It's not like political news where there's new stuff to draw like attention and ire all the time, 24/7. You know what I mean?
You want to know something funny? Let Avery say something real quick first, because he was just going to say something.
No, go for it. Sorry.
There are successful art channels on YouTube, but it's not a lot.
Yeah.
And the ones that are popular were made popular a long time ago when the algorithm was very different.
Yeah.
And getting an art channel going with original characters, the big channels that are popular for art, it's somebody that can draw like super realistic celebrities, or somebody that draws whatever the buzz character is right then for coming out in a movie.
I like the guy who
does. Wants to draw that crap. We're all sick of it.
Yeah, I like the guy who does the horror drawings on top of the coloring book. You guys have probably seen him.
No,
he gets a coloring book like a Pokemon characters, and he like re-inks them and colors them and turns them into horror characters. I mean, it's hilarious. If you haven't seen it, it's kind of cool.
And there are popular animation channels, but again, but animation takes so long. Those people became popular when the algorithm was very different, and you didn't have to crank something out every day.
Right. And so that's kind of my challenge. And I'm not, we'll figure it out, but it's sort of like, I'm not really sure, like, full disclosure, I'm not exactly 100% sure what we're going to do. We'll do something because we got to build the character. We got to build the audience for, the audience side of things next.
I have to tell you that I was at a doctor's office or someplace, and I was going through my old emails, clearing out some old emails, and I'm in my promotion section of my Gmail account, and I get down to like 2019, and I start seeing all these things called Comicast. I'm like, what the hell is this?
Oh yeah.
So I start checking them off to delete them, and at some point I stopped and actually read one. Went, oh crap, this was Todd's email thing he was doing. So I went back and unchecked them all, and I kept them.
Yeah, I did something called Comicast for a while.
I don't think I ever read a single one of them, but I kept them so that I could one day. It's only been 4 years. Maybe another year or two.
Great.
But I enjoyed that. I enjoyed getting it.
Yeah.
But that's wait a minute. Did I just admit that I never read it? I did read some.
Yeah. That was good.
You were trying to get into the Comics Gate sphere with them for some of it.
Well, it wasn't necessarily about Comics Gate. It was about indie comics outside of Marvel, DC, Image, like Dark Horse. It was like what I'm fascinated by, and what was really inspiring to me personally was sort of like all of these creators, regardless of where they fit on the whole political culture war thing, like just taking it upon themselves to start marketing their own stuff, do those YouTube videos, like build their own audiences and put it on Indiegogo or Kickstarter or Fund My Comic Now or whatever that is. Like that was really inspiring to me. You know what I mean?
I tell you what, if you want to go down the path of talking about comics, and I do follow a couple of channels. I talk your boy Zach, Perch, Critical Thinker.
They don't grow.
Well, but I still find them interesting.
Hamstringed them.
Yeah, well, I still find them interesting, but I have to tell you, Critical Thinker put out a video where they were reviewing that the last whatever of Lex Luthor, that book that I bought, the large size book, which was written by Mark Waid and drawn by Brian Hitch. And they're talking about it, and I'm listening to their review, and I'm agreeing with a lot of what they're saying. But at one point they said, yeah, the inking was a little bit different. I'm not even sure who did the inking. I'm like, I'm screaming at the computer. It was Kevin Nolan, you fucktards. What do you mean? What do you mean you didn't know who it was? That was 50% of the reason I bought the book. How the hell do you guys talk about comics and not know who Kevin Nolan is?
Yo,
I
man,
was having a heart attack. I was having a heart attack screaming at my computer. You would have a different opinion in that review because you know these artists and you know the references and you know that when Kevin Nolan inks a book, he turns it into his book. But
wouldn't
he
that be
works
just
really well
the
with
problem,
Brian
the
Hitch.
problem with that, Andrew, only problem with that is like the YouTube channel that I would do is called Comics Kayfabe or Cartoonist Kayfabe. Like it's literally.
Did you see your boy Zach review of Comics Kayfabe recently?
No.
Oh, he was brutal. He said, I don't even think these guys even read comics anymore.
They
Because
don't.
he was listening to some of their reviews, and it's like, these guys, they don't read comics anymore. They like to talk about old stuff from when they were kids and that they used to like, but they're commenting on stuff they know diddly crap about. But they're very popular, and I've had people come in my store, and when I mention YouTube, they're like, oh yeah, comics, they follow it. But I don't know. There's a niche out there that somebody's got to scratch.
Yeah.
Itch, not niche. You know what I mean? Freaking A. I can barely get words out.
Do your own thing, man. Who cares what they're doing?
Yeah, well, that's absolutely true. Anyway.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. My main thing is I also want to make sure that the YouTube. I'm very strategic as a person, or I try to be very strategic. And so I try to like look at it from like, okay, what is the YouTube algorithm actually like? What's going to get the most ad revenue? What's going to get the most eyeballs? Right.
See, I don't think initially you need to care about that. You need to enjoy what you're doing. And that's literally what I did. All the videos that I made, I was just having fun with every single one. And I went in so many different directions. I talked about toys. I talked about Legos. I talked about comics. I did art. I just went all over the place. And because I enjoyed every single one of them. And then one blew up. That was December of 2021. I have one scam video that currently sits at over 17,000 views. That was the one that blew up. But
now, is that what made you decide to do more scam videos? Was seeing that one pop?
Well, that one popped and it brought me over the 1,000 subscriber threshold. I was at 800 and something. And within just a few days, I went over the 1,000. I was like, holy crap, what's going on? I mean, I didn't even realize it. I was just doing my normal thing, and I realized that was what people were coming for, and that's what they were coming back for, and that's when I switched the focus.
And one of the bigger channels had you on a live stream.
They did, and we talked about, and they're even the one that gave me the idea. Well, actually, no, I should say, Avery probably gave me the idea, but they're the one that voiced it, and I went and did it. They said, "Are you going to separate the scam calls from all the rest of the stuff you do?" And I said, well, initially I was like, I'm still going to do my thing. And then I realized all the people coming for the scam stuff could give a rat's ass about comic news or Legos, so I separated that stuff out. And there's a really good chance that Avery probably told me to do that ahead of time. Do you remember?
Probably.
Yeah, probably. Anyway, one of the things I wanted to comment, I didn't realize this, but it turns out I hit the 1 million views 8 days ago. I just now noticed it. That's how dense I am. In that 8-day time, I've gotten 21,000 more views because I'm at 1,021,000.
Hey, dude, I love hearing this, bro. I love it. You worked really. I mean, I want to be clear, like with what you're saying too, because especially since people may not know like how much you've done. But like, so the scam thing popped off in December of 2021, right?
Yeah, but I'd been doing it on and off since 2018. Every now and then I'd get a good one and I'd post it.
Right, but when did you start? When did you start YouTubing?
2018, early 2018 is when I kind of started doing daily videos. My account was created back in 2010, but I didn't start doing anything for 8 years. But I was doing, in 2018 is when I pretty much started doing the daily stuff, and it was just a little bit of everything. Sometimes I did 3 videos a day, but it wasn't till December of 2021 that the scams took off. And then as of January, that's what the channel became. January of 2022.
Now, did you start a new channel and do scams and start from zero, or did you just keep the same channel and delete everything else or hide it?
What I did is I changed the name of the channel from Misfit Corner Comics to Misfit Corner Scams. I created a second channel called Misfit Corner Comics, which was what the original channel was named, and I started moving some of the ones I liked over there, whether they be drawing videos or store videos or whatever. And then I just did 3 new comics coming to the store this weekend videos. The first one's up now, and the other 2 will come up tomorrow morning. But I'm still putting stuff up there regularly, but not as much as I want to, or not as much as I should, because I'm busy doing all of these other things. But I'm still adding to that channel. But my original audience came from the channel I have now, the Scam channel, and hopefully they didn't all leave. But I mean, it's okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's obviously okay now.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, Cross? How you doing?
Rick is in the house. Canada
says
is
scratch that niche.
Yeah. Canadian is representing.
Canadian is representing.
I love picking on him. It's so wonderful. It's all right. He does the same to me.
Yeah, he's a good sport.
He is. So you guys want to see some slab comics?
Nope. Good night, folks.
All right.
That's all, folks.
Yes, of course we want to see slab comics, bro. That's what we're here for.
So what I was saying before I got rudely interrupted probably by my own talking, is that of the 10 books I got, 7 of them I want to keep for myself.
That's not how you make profit.
I know, but you guys, 6 of the 7, you guys would probably agree with me, because I've gotten this overwhelming urge recently to not completely go back and buy every single comic that I enjoyed as a kid, but I wanted to focus on some, and I have some, and I'm giddy to have them. So
let's see them.
All right, let me show you what I got.
Andrew would make a terrible Ferengi.
He's definitely not a Ferengi.
Okay. Let me see. Oh, goodness gracious. Where's the other one?
We need to.
Rick said, yes, slap those comics. It's slab, not slap.
Slap. Did you say slap those comics?
Yeah, slap those comics. Slap them.
Oh, I forgot to grab one off of the bookshelf. Hold on.
So while he's doing that, Avery, how are you doing? Zach, how you guys doing?
I'm good.
Where were you, man? Were you playing a game or something?
No, just overslept.
Oh, fair enough. We were saying that was okay because you need more sleep.
Yeah, I have been obsessed with a game a friend of mine got me playing lately.
What's the game?
It's actually a game that's been out for a while, but I've never played it to a friend. Talked me into downloading it and giving it a try because it's free on Xbox Game Pass. If you're paying for Xbox Game Pass, there's tons of games you can download and play for, as a part of that. It's called Grounded.
Yeah, he described it to me on Saturday, and it sounds like hilarious fun.
It's those survival type games where it's you and whoever is in your lobby, friends that you invite that have access. Gather resources, build bases and stuff. But it's like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, because you're like kids that have been shrunk down in the backyard.
Oh yeah, you were telling me about this.
Yeah, so you have to fight bugs and stuff, and it's like, this is cool.
That's pretty cool.
I'm really into this. This is a good game.
All right, you ready to look at some comics?
Yeah, of course.
All right,
Here, I'm gonna zoom into your face. Oh God.
All right, first one is from Boom Studios. This is Alice Ever After #2. This is the Adam Hughes variant. I'm gonna try to do this to where
you got these. You just got these. Oh, you ordered these. You bought these.
I bought these on eBay. Yes, I did. By the way, just send off a collection of my comics to be graded. I sent off 10 books. And when I get them back, I'm going to try very hard not to open the box until we're doing a live stream so we can open them together.
Awesome.
It includes my Long Shot #1, my Jurassic Park #1 with a lot of good books.
Not Jurassic Park. I thought it was Enozoic.
No. That one I have to send to a different company because it's signed on the inside. You have to, if you want it graded with the signature verification, you got to pay extra and have it sent to you. So that one will eventually go, but these were just modern books going in for regular slabbing. So, but I love this cover. I think it looks gorgeous.
Yeah, that's wicked.
The Adam Hughes variant. This is one that I am considering just keeping for myself, just because it looks great. And all these books look great slabbed. So, next one is another modern book that you guys probably don't give a rat's ass about. It is Hallows Eve #1 from Marvel Comics. This is the Art Germ variant, and it's also a 9.8. So it's a gorgeous looking book. So.
They look great slabbed.
Yeah, one of the things I did not know about this character is she carries around all these different Halloween masks, and when she puts them on, it gives her a different power.
Oh, that's
kind of a cool concept, but I didn't know anything about her. I just thought the cover looked nice. So somebody out there might be willing to buy it. Next up is Batman Beyond the White Knight, issue #5, also a 9.8. This is the J. Scott Campbell variant, showing off Harley Quinn. But,
girls in hoodies, all the new character costumes.
Girls in hoodies, yeah, it's a big thing. It's a major thing. But this is another one I bought for the cover, and somebody out there will say, "Oh, I like that cover," and hopefully they'll slap me some money. And then last but not least, this one I bought not least from this stack. There's still more coming. This was a book that the seller was selling, and the price was cheap. By the way, the 10 books that I sent off, $25 a book plus shipping, ended up being $28 a book. So if I'm able to buy any of these slab books for less than $28, that's less than what they probably paid to get them graded. So that's a pretty damn good deal. This one I got for less than what they probably paid to get graded. This is a Boom Studio book I know nothing about. I just really like the cover. It's called The Last Witch, #1. It's a 9.8. I'm going to have to get a copy of this book to check it out, because if the interior art is anything like the cover, I'm going to love it just based on that fact, because the art on the cover looks fantastic. I know nothing about this book. I bought it sight unseen, based simply on the cover. And my God, if you can sell a book based on the cover, But like I said, I think this one, not including the shipping, I paid like $20 for it. So that was less than they probably paid to get it graded. So I got a deal. Now these next six, they're all 9.6s. So 9.8 is probably the best you're going to get. Grading wise, there are 9.9s and perfect 10s out there, but they are very far and few between. A 9.8 is normally the one everybody wants. 9.6 is just below that. It's still near mint. And honestly, these books are 1987 for this one. So we're talking about 40 some odd years old. So a 9.6 of a 40-year-old book, perfectly fine for me.
Yeah, dude, that's kind of hard to do. So
G.I. Joe #60. This is the Todd McFarlane.
That's Mike Zeck cover.
No. This is yes, the cover is Mike Zeck. Let me just make sure. Yeah, Mike Zeck cover, but the interior art was Todd McFarlane.
Oh, it's wicked.
Todd McFarlane did one issue of G.I. Joe, and this was it. And this one, even though it's not my original one that I had as a kid, has a sentimental value to me. My mother took me to the commissary and bought me a comic one time. In the entire time, she was my mother. And this was the issue.
Is she still your mother?
She's still my mother. She's still around. But this isn't the actual issue that she bought me, because I have no idea where that issue is now. But this has some sentimental value.
To me, it's my book is Phantom Stranger.
Phantom Stranger, yes. Well,
yeah, my book is like, I have like 2 or 3 variations of that. I'll probably have that entire. I'm not even into slab books really just yet in my life.
Yeah,
but that 4-issue miniseries by Mike Mignola will probably be the first that I get, because that was my very first comic, and it just screwed me.
I hate to say it, and I say it over and over again. These books look fantastic in these slabs.
Yeah,
they look so crystal clear, perfect. This is issue number 33 of G.I. Joe. This is another Mike Zeck cover. This is a really great one. This is from 1985. So this would have been very close to the time frame which I started collecting comics. And G.I. Joe and Transformers were my piece de resistance, my kiss. And this is one of those issues that I most likely had during that time, and I loved it.
Yeah,
this has some sentimental values, just simply the fact that now, once again, these are not my issues. I got rid of my collection many moons ago, but this is actually great to now have it again in such a format that love it. Now, this is one I absolutely know I had. This is issue number 45 from 1986 with a great, is that a Zeck cover too? Yes, it is a Mike Zeck cover as well.
You're just wrapping the Mike Zeck covers, bro.
Well, I'm just wrapping the G.I. Joes. So.
Yeah, those are. I mean, his covers are also.
Yep.
It, so.
Thrilled to have all of these. Next up, and of course, I didn't have any of these in any order whatsoever, but this is issue number 53 of G.I. Joe. You guys may recognize it as the Marvel's 25th anniversary.
Yep.
In which they did all their comics had the frame around it. These are often very sought after issues. Some of the lesser known titles are very valuable, especially the Star comics like Heathcliff and Alf Droids. They are very, very sought after because they had low print runs. But this is one of the ones that didn't have a. G.I. Joe was still very, very popular at this point, issue 53, but absolutely love having it with Snake Eyes on the cover, and of course, Mike Zeck as always. So, all right, two more. You guys remember these comics?
Yeah, I do.
Did you guys collect?
I never collected.
I bought G.I. Joe comics sometimes. I didn't collect G.I. Joe comics.
No, I collected them.
No, I didn't collect comics at that point. I just bought comics occasionally, and they'd never survived very long.
Right. Now, this is G.I. Joe number 58, where they introduced the new Cobra Commander. Actually, it's Cobra Commander in his new battle armor. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you guys remember the toys, because this comic.
Well, in the comic Cobra Commander, they did replace Cobra Commander with somebody in that armor.
I'm not sure. I think this was the original Cobra Commander, just being. I mean, because it says reborn. So, but this comic was 100% published in order to sell toys.
Oh yeah,
and it did, and a lot of times you would see a character or a vehicle or something presented in the comics, and then like a month later or a week later, the toys would be on the shelves. And they knew that going into it. They knew that ahead of time, that they were using the comics to promote the toys. And dude, I think that it was one of the most successful ways of doing it.
Andrew.
Yes.
Andrew, Carrot says, do you put all of these slabs on display somewhere or put them away?
The ones that I take to the store are on my windowsill facing out of the store, so you can see them as you're walking by. I'm starting to get so many that I need to find another place to put them. But I want to keep them where they're in my control. They're not just out where anybody can grab them and walk out the store. The rest of them, the ones that are here in the home for me, are right now, they're just on a bookshelf. So eventually I'll probably have something way of putting them on the wall and displaying them. But I haven't gotten there yet because I don't know. Honestly, of the ones that are on my shelf right now, I don't know which ones will forever be on my shelf. Because there's something up there right now that I may, even though I cherish it now, if somebody offered me the right price, it would be sold. So right now, there's no permanent displayed stuff. So
now,
last but not
I've heard like when these slabbed books, like someone told me that you can't just like put them in a safe or something because it still needs to get air circulation to it, or it's gonna like. Are they 100% sealed, or is it like?
Well,
like how do you take care of them?
Well, they usually come in a plastic bag. I've seen people who have bought carrying cases that are filled with styrofoam that have slots specifically for slabbed comics. I mean, that's one way. I've seen people who have put them in like locked box type safes like that. Because I mean, there are some slab books out there that are worth millions, at least thousands and thousands of dollars. None of what I have is worth that much yet. I'm working on it. But there are different ways of displaying as well as keeping them safe. I do know people who have put them in safety deposit boxes. So it's always a possibility, but yeah, I haven't gotten to that point yet where I need a safety deposit box for them.
Some of the custom drawers are nice.
Oh yeah. Well, they make slabbed books like this are not going to go out of style anytime soon. They're very popular, and people are still slabbing them, whether it's for the purpose of reselling them or for their own collection. So slabbing comics, especially ones that have sentimental value as well as actual value, is not going away. This is a process that is going to continue to blow up, and more people are going to get their slabs. Even if the prices for slab books go down, there's still people that are going to want to slab them.
No, it's gonna. I think it's the new way to do things, because eventually, like, new comics are going to slow down. The new comics are not getting slabbed because they're not. I mean, the specialty covers are getting slabbed. Most people are going to read. You're not going to read, X-Men 270, right? You're going to slab it and you're going to read it in a trade.
Oh, I can't. I really want to show you the 4 books that I just picked up.
All right, go for it.
Including 2 X-Men books. So,
all right, let's see it.
Yeah. Well, not yet. I got one more.
Oh, you got more. Okay.
Now, this is one I know for a fact I did not have. This is G.I. Joe issue number 11.
Oh, that's cool.
And it is
cool.
It is first appearance of Airborne, Gung Ho, Doc, Snow Job, and Wild Bill. First appearance of Destro in cameo, face hidden. This was definitely a book to sell toys. This was an issue that introduced a whole bunch of new characters, as well as, well, if it introduced Snow Job, it also introduced the snowmobile, and probably introduced the glider. And I don't think I had any really good copies of G.I. Joe prior to maybe issue 40, maybe a few below that, maybe 33. I know I probably had a copy of that, but these were sought after as a kid that they were out of my reach. But to get a copy of issue number 11, frickin' A, I'm in heaven.
Now let me ask you about this, Andrew.
Yes.
How would CGC treat the grading, or how it says like first appearance of Destro, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, obvious that's sort of easy to figure out because it's G.I. Joe, it's popular, and it has a history, right?
Yes.
How do they do it for indie books? Like, for example, I'll give you a selfish example. Let's say we publish.
You can take me off of center if you want.
Let's say we publish that a copy of Adult Fantasy #1 Origin with Devoid. So that's the first appearance of Devoid, right? But if you sent that to get graded, how would they know that it's the first appearance of Devoid? Would you have to tell them as an indie publisher, or would they like just know because they're like, what the fuck is this? We've never seen it before.
I'm not sure exactly if they what resources they use. You'd really have to check with them. But there are places with that you can go online and you can list your own books, and you could put that information in there. I don't know if comicpriceguide.com, you could submit books, but they really are very selective about who they take submissions from. There are other websites. I'm trying to think. There's one that I used to remember that you could actually list independent books, and you could put a note in there, first appearance of, and so forth. But I would check. I really don't know. I don't know the answer to your question, but I think you could reach out to CGC and ask them that question. Say, hey, I have an independent book that I want to get graded. It is the first appearance of my character. How do I go about having it so that you note it on the book? Because they don't catch everything. I recently had gotten a copy of Darth Maul from Marvel Comics issue number 2, which is the first appearance of Cad Bane in the comics. Cad Bane was the bounty hunter from the TV series, the cartoon series Rebels. And for some reason, they did not have that on the label as his first appearance, even though it's very commonly known that that's where his first appearance is. CGC did not put it on the label.
Wasn't he in the Clone Wars?
Yeah, I think he was in the Clone Wars. Maybe not. Maybe it wasn't Rebels, but he was in those TV shows. And in the comics, his first appearance in the comics was the Darth Maul number 2. And I recently had a copy of it and sold it and made a nice little profit off it. So, but it wasn't one that I had to keep, but it's still a cool book. But when I actually showed it to the guy who I ended up selling it to, he noted that it's the first appearance of Cad Bane, but it's not on the label. And he kind of rolled his eyes because I think he knew that. I think he actually had a copy himself that had been graded where they did not put that on the label. So I'd reach out to him and let him know I want to get my independent book graded. How can I make sure that it includes this information? Because it is. Okay. And they will either tell you or tell you how to go about, making it so that they can do it. Because I'm sure, I don't know if they would just take your word for it, even if you are the creator, but maybe I don't know.
Wouldn't. Well, that's the thing is it's not about, I totally respect them not taking my word. It's just like, I was curious, like, well, I guess another thing, if it wasn't just about me, what about, like some of those old Caliber comics, right? Where you had a first appearance of I guess Concrete would be a more known character, but you know what I'm saying? Like these independent characters that might have a first appearance. I'm really curious about how they go about deciding or. Yeah,
it might be good to know what reference they use for it, but I do not know. I do not know.
Fair enough.
MK says Snow Job is a better character than Snowflake.
Oh yeah, so carrots and MK, we got to talk about that. Andrew,
that's old.
Well, Avery,
it was old news to us.
Huh?
It was old. The Snowflake character, Safe Space and Snowflake.
Yeah,
that's old news to us, but they just found it.
MK. So Andrew, TLDR. That's long story short, MK discovered the Marvel video talking about the new Warriors.
Yep.
And
the shit show.
It started a discussion in AF. People were more upset that we didn't come up with the names first for Adult Fantasy.
Yeah.
But we can talk about that in a minute for sure, because I want to get your opinion on this. But in the meantime, what are some of the other books that you got?
Hold on a second. I'm just checking out some auctions that are ending in the next few minutes.
Oh my God, you nerd.
Well, somebody has. Do you remember Battlestar Galactica, the Marvel comic?
Mm-hmm.
They have 3 copies of issue number 1 and 3 copies of issue number 2. Issue number 1, they have in a 9.2, a 9.4, and a 9.6. Issue number 2, they have in a 9.2, 9.4, and 9.6. I'm just paying attention to the auctions, but right now, issue 1, the 9.2 is up to $24.50. The 9.4 is $36, and the 9.6 is $41. These are issue number 1. I mean, they're all, great looking comics. But issue number 2, 9.2 is at $225. 9.4 is at $225, and 9.6 is at $5.50. These books are worth more than that.
Now, the way this works, Andrew, is that you got to make sure to resell this, right?
Oh yeah, but I don't know anybody that's looking for Battlestar Galactica. I'm just watching it right now to see what happens. I don't think any of these I would bid on. I was really curious to see where they went.
You're just studying the market.
Yeah, but I really want to buy more books.
Yeah. Andrew doesn't want to buy more books like I don't want to buy more guns.
They they have a copy of Amazing Spider-Man 328. Todd. 328. That's McFarlane's Hulk.
Yeah.
Spider-Man. Yes.
Yeah.
A 9.6. It's got 23 hours left, so it's got a day left, and it's currently only at $28.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn it, you're an asshole. What's the price on this?
It's currently at $28, but it's got
the grade. What's the grade?
9.6.
Show it on screen, fucker.
Be nicer to me.
No, because you're gonna make me buy something to support your habit.
What is it?
It's hold on, let me share.
It's Amazing Spider-Man number 9.6. It's this is the one that Todd has the reproduction cover, and dude, is this not beautiful? Now, hold on just a quick second. Let me
328 or 326?
326.
Hold on, guys. I'll be right back.
All right. Well, I'm going to check real quick and see what the comic price guide. Let's see. Did I say 326 or 328?
It's 328.
328, yeah. Sorry, I said 326. I meant 328. Sorry. It is the direct edition, which in some cases, believe it or not, people that are into the graded books, they want the newsstand edition. A 9.6 values at CGC or comicpriceguide.com for $85. So at its current asking price of $28, that's pretty damn good. But it'll probably go up because it's got 12 bids, and I think when I looked, it had like 24 watchers on it. So
I found somebody that has a lot of 3 issues of McFarlane Hulk. They're not slabbed or anything, but there's $30 for 328, 341, and 343.
Yeah, but remember, it's going to cost you $28 a piece to get them graded.
Yeah,
and there's no guarantee what the grade's going to come back.
No, I would want to look at these and read them.
Oh, I understand that.
I don't have the McFarlane Hulks, so I want to be able to look at them. But for $30, I could probably find a trade of all of it.
Yeah, you want me to show you the 2 of the ones I got that I won this evening?
Carrot says, so are we all buying comics off of eBay tonight?
There's a good chance it could happen.
And he says pretty much everything in comics is old news that I am just discovering now. That's honestly the best way to be, bro. I'm not even gonna front. That's the best. In my opinion, that's the best way to be.
Oh, dude, is that a $3.25 for that 328 so far? 4 bids.
Possibly. That's usually like a starting point.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm going to show you guys 2 of the books that I got tonight. I'm not going to show you all of them, but this is Uncanny X-Men number 196. It's an 8.5.
Oh, that's an early John Romita Jr., bro.
Is that not gorgeous, you know?
Yeah.
All right. And then the other one I got, and these are ones I won tonight that are coming to me.
Now you are going to flip these.
Most likely.
I'm coming back to this because I'm making sure that.
Yeah, I added that Hulk to my watch list.
This is the other one that I got. It's a
nice
9.6.
Oh yeah.
Is that not gorgeous?
Why is that slabbed? What happened? Because I know I don't have that issue.
They just slap all these things, man.
Oh, they slap. Yeah, people will slap everything.
Well, I could see it from that era because so many of them are freaking good.
Yeah.
So, I mean, because so many of those X-Men, like even like issues that no one major showed up in an issue of X-Men, it's still like from that era, they're still like a $10, $20 book.
Oh, I missed out on those 2, the lower bidding, the lower grades of Battlestar Galactica. The 9.2 sold for 26, and the 9.4 sold for 36. Wow. And the 9.6 is currently going for $41. I'll show you the tab. All right, so some of the other ones I'm watching.
Yeah. Carrots, I am trying to be I am trying to like.
Yeah.
Like.
I found a
intervention.
Hey Todd, that Amazing Spider-Man Hulk issue, I found a 9.8.
Oh shit!
There's a 9.8 on eBay of it. Its starting bid is $54.
And how many days is left?
Chat.
8.
8 days? Yeah, it's going up.
So. Yeah, sure.
Put it in. What do you think it's going to sell for? What is a 9.8 McFarlane?
Some people want like 100. There's one person that has it for a 9.6. They want over $100 for it.
This is the one This is one of the ones I'm currently bidding on.
Oh yeah, cool. This is the anniversary. There's a new McFarlane anniversary figure of Batman for this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it just came out. New anniversary figure from McFarlane of Batman. I don't know if he has a breakable back or what.
Oh, this is one I really, really, really want.
Carrot says, I've got a bunch of stuff here in my house that I picked up over the summer to resell, so I understand. Oh, that Red Sonja is so good. Yeah.
This is a 9.2. There's actually a 9.6 that's currently up for sale right now too.
See, 9.2 of a book like that's good enough to have because that's the even though I wasn't a big Red Sonja fan, I just love that era of comics.
Oh yeah,
and I like the art in a lot of those Red Sonja and Conans and stuff. So for the right price, I would pick something like that up just to hang on the wall.
Todd, this is one I'm also currently bidding on.
Oh yeah, well, that's a classic, man.
Yeah, I sold you my copy.
Yeah, the very first Terminator.
Yep.
Who did the art for that one?
Chris Warner.
Chris Warner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I loved his stuff.
Still got a day left on it, but it's only currently at $5.50, so that's crazy. But there's some X-Men issues I'm watching. I guess I could ignore this one since I already bought it. Some more G.I. Joes.
Hey, Todd.
Yo.
1988 McFarlane's Amazing Spider-Man 301 through 328.
Okay, the whole run.
At $900 or best offer.
Wow.
Oh wow, that Battlestar Galactica number 1 9.6 sold for $42.
Huh.
Freaking A, I could have beat that.
You could have beat that. Like you have.
I could beat that.
You could. You shouldn't.
All right, and issue number 2's jumped to $13.06. So, okay, it's moving up there. But a 9.2 of number 2 is still just sitting at 225. It's crazy sometimes. This is another one I'm thinking about. Superman number 1. It's an 8.5, and I know I have a copy of this in my store, which means if I have a copy, if I already have a copy of
that's
it,
the John Byrne. Oh man,
yeah, that was the beginning of the new Superman. This was right after the Man of Steel limited series, where he reinvented that, quote unquote, reinvented the character.
Yeah,
but
that'd be a good.
That right there, I believe, was one of my first Superman books.
Oh really?
Yeah.
John Byrne's Superman was awesome.
Yeah,
every page was a lesson in storytelling, you know?
Yeah. Well, he's a grand master wizard, whatever at it. Like he's fucking.
Now these two I'm interested in. This is Masters of the Universe number 1. This is the DC version of the series. There were 3 issues in this series. Remember how I bought an issue in North Carolina? That was issue number 3 of this series. And that one, by the way, already sold. So somebody picked it up because they liked it.
Yes.
It's not a great drawing.
It would still be still that's a cool book to have to hang on the wall.
Yeah.
I think.
But they also have this one, which is Masters of the Universe issue number 1 from Marvel Comics. This is the one where the 9.4 ungraded is a $100 book.
Wow.
And the cool part is I have a copy of this book that I picked up in a trade-in, and it was in really fucked up condition, but I pressed it and it looks so much better, but it has a tear right under the number, which honestly I personally don't care about, but I was considering having it graded just to see, but with that tear, it's going to be at least like maybe a 7.5 at the most. But a 9. I'm watching this to see how a 9.6 sells, because if I do get this one graded, it would be just for me. You know, I'm not going to make my money back selling it. So
what?
Todd, whatever you do not put into eBay Amazing Spider-Man CGC. You will lose all your money.
See, here's the thing. That's Superman. I have a copy right here. And this one's actually in pretty good condition. I pressed it and it looks good. This is the one that's up for sale is an 8.5. This is at least a minimum an 8.5.
Yeah.
So it's like, do I want to try to bid on it, or do I want to just grade it myself, you know?
Holy crap. I have this issue of Amazing Spider-Man, and slabbed in a 9.8, it's $129. Of the 3 of us, in my opinion, Todd's the one that's always liked Amazing Spider-Man the most.
Unfortunately, yes.
This is one that there are millions of them out there, but I still want a copy.
Yeah, I want to get that, but my goal is to get that. There's a version of that out there with that is signed by both McFarlane and Stan Lee.
Yeah, you're going to pay some money for that one.
Yeah, for sure. But that's kind of I want that book signed by both those guys.
Do you remember at Charlotte, there was a guy that had like 15 copies of this book, all slabbed. They were all like high grade, either 9.6 or 9.8s. Yep. And I think he had like 175 on all of them.
Yeah.
And this one is currently at... Now, this is the most common copy. $32. It's still got a day left. Actually, you know what? Let me look real quick. What is Spider-Man? Spider-Man number 1. Good God, it would help if I knew how to spell. I'm just checking to see what Comic Price Guide puts for a 9.8 of the regular standard issue, whether or not it's worth. Here we go. Spider-Man number 1. A 9.4 ungraded is listed at $15. So a 9.8. Oh, wow.
Oh, that was, see.
A 9.8 graded, they average the price at $113.
I would buy that just to, like that. If anybody wants to get Todd something for his next birthday,
I already got
Go
him
for
something.
go for something like this. He'll love it.
You know what's so funny is I gave Avery a slab book for his birthday, and I'm going to get a slab book for Todd's birthday.
That's cool.
Wow. I like that. I'm cool.
I told you which one I got for you, right?
No.
It's the Youngblood Strike File #1 signed by Jay Lee.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Right on.
I'm gonna get that graded for you and give that to you for your birthday.
Oh yeah,
you,
brother.
you probably won't get it by your birthday because it's not in the set that I just sent out. It's all right. Oh, by the way, do you want to know what I sent out to get graded?
Sure.
Oh shit! I got the list right here. All right, I can stop presenting. You don't want to see what else I'm going to spend my money on.
Todd, there's some really good stuff if you do search Amazing Spider-Man CGC on eBay. There's some good stuff.
All right, you guys ready?
What is this on
eBay? Just put in Amazing Spider-Man CGC.
You're gonna hurt me, bro.
Don't
refuse.
Don't do it.
I refuse to do this. It is evil.
It's like going to Google and putting in like something that has to do with licking something. You know, you don't want to do it. Avery's telling you to do it. It's going to get you in trouble.
He's getting me in trouble because I'm going to do it.
All right,
and you're going to run the credit card up about a good $2,000.
Here's what I'm getting graded. Power Girl #1 with the Adam Hughes variant cover. The one where she's ripping off her shirt and coming to save the day. That one. You guys remember seeing that one?
Yep.
Yeah.
Grimm #1 from Boom Studios. That's a kind of a popular book right now, and I have 2 copies of it, so I'm going to get one of them graded. Blade, the Vampire Hunter #1 from 1994. It's the blue cover one. It's currently like a $75 book, ungraded. The reason is it's very popular now because it introduces a bunch of new villains that are supposedly going to be in the new movie. So it might be a good time to get it graded and dump it. X-Men #4, first appearance of Omega Red. I actually have like 3 or 4 copies of that book, so figured send one off, get it graded, see what happens. Jurassic Park #1, the Amber Chrome edition, which is the numbered edition. That one could be hundreds to $1,000 easy because of how rare it is.
Mm-hmm.
Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace oh shoot, I put #1 in here. It should actually be #3. I hope they catch that mistake I made. Oops. That's the one that's the first appearance of Darth Maul in the comics, and that's the one that I'm giving Mike for his birthday. So, Uncanny X-Force #1, the J. Scott Campbell variant cover. Next up, Buffy the Vampire Slayer #1 from 1998. It's the gold foil edition with the Art Adams cover.
Mm-hmm.
That one, even though I'm not a big Buffy fan, I'm a huge Art Adams fan. So when that one comes back, I might just have to keep that. Long Shot #1, also an Art Adams book. And regrettably, the last book in the series is The Authority #1 from 2024. It's also the Art Adams sketch variant cover. So I hate to say it, but more than half of these books are not going to be sold.
You're screwed, bro.
Yeah, I know.
You do this to yourself.
I do it to myself. I wonder if I can go in and edit that number.
So should we talk about do we want to talk about the
Hey Todd, look at what I'm sharing.
Todd, pull my finger. Hurry up.
Todd.
Golly, man.
Your kids
Oh my god, dude.
Your kids don't need to go to college, do they?
That's actually, I mean, considering what that is, it's not a bad price.
A 5.0 of Amazing Spider-Man #1, $18,000.
Carrot says he never heard of Power Girl. Andrew, do you want to show a picture of Power Girl?
Oh yeah, the window. Woo!
MK says she's a real popular cosplay. Oh, now he's looking. He says, "Oh, gee, I see why."
Yeah, she's a Kryptonian, but she's like Superman's cousin from another dimension or something, or alternate timeline.
Yeah, so good.
But I'll show you guys real quick. This is the cover that I'm getting graded.
Oh yeah, that's a gorgeous cover.
And what's so funny is the other really popular one from this series. Actually, there's 3 from this series that's popular. I have the second one as well. This is actually value-wise, this one's more than that one. Oh, wait a minute. It would help if I had the issue number in here. But this will eventually be graded as well. They list as retailer incentive ones, but actually, you want to see what's so funny? In this series, the issue that's worth the most, like that is a 9.4 ungraded as a $35 book. The most issue 1, the one that I'm getting graded, that's like a $25 book. But the issue that's worth the most, this is like $150 ungraded. And I don't even like the cover.
It's interesting.
But it's because it's the last issue and it's probably the lowest print run. And because, I don't know, it's got something shoving out in your face, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, MK, that was a Adam Hughes cover.
Yeah. Oh, this is another one. This is worth. Oh, wait a minute. This is a $90 one. Oh, I don't even like this one. It looks horrible. It's a Gillian Marsh. The reason why they're valuable is because they're rare. That's horrible. That's just bad.
Yeah, some of them are not the best.
Yeah.
Drawn.
Yeah.
See,
it's the Adam Hughes covers that are absolute bangers.
This is a 1 in 10 variant, and this one was also a 1 in 10 variant, and I have both of them.
Nice.
So
That's
I'm
awesome.
going to get both of them graded, and because they're Adam Hughes, there's a good chance I might keep them for my own collection. So
Of course. We're so screwed.
well, you remember that one barbed wire issue that I showed you, where the guy had it up for sale. It's a buy it now. He had $60 on it. And I was debating it. Well, I got an email saying he was lowering the price down to $50. And I'm like, it's not worth $50,
No.
but I like it. I like it.
Like, I'm not a big Zatanna fan, but some of the Adam Hughes covers for Zatanna are they're good.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Todd, more torture porn for you.
God, you're such a bastard. Oh, fuck off.
9.8.
Jeez, man. Chessie McChesterson. That's MK's Power Girl nickname.
Yeah.
9.8, man. God.
Here's that barbed wire issue that I'm still considering.
Look at it. That's a good cover. Oh,
It is. It is.
Adam Hughes, man. He's so good.
Yeah, I know. Oh, that's hilarious. Do you know who did the interior art of that issue?
Who?
Patrick Oliff.
Huh. So
He's very much a standard kind of artist, you know, a standard comic book artist. He's never been super famous, but he's always consistent with his art. It's got good art, but he's never become a name. You know, nobody buys a comic for his art, which is regrettable because he's like Jim Aparo to me. You know, he's been around forever. He's got a consistent art style, but he's one of those artists that he's an artist, but he's not a fan favorite artist. You know, he's somebody who you can call in to do a book and he'll make it look good and he'll knock it out, but he's never going to get, you know, never.
Todd, this isn't to torture you. This is because it's affordable.
It's still torture.
I really got to know what he means by affordable. Oh, that's where it is right now. Oh, it's a buy it now.
That's a buy it now.
Oh,
That's a buy it now.
Why? What's wrong with it?
I don't know. It's a 9.8 for $154. I don't know.
Oh, hold on a second. It says foil.
It's Mexican.
Mexico foil variant.
Oh, I didn't read it. Oh wait, that's one of those new foil variants.
Yeah, but it's a Mexican variant.
You're trying to send me to Mexico?
Have you seen that X-Men foil variant for X-Men number 5, Andrew?
No.
It's dope. It's like
Really?
$200. It's so dope, dude. It's X-Men number 5. It's a foil variant.
Yeah.
I bet that looks amazing in person. That X-Men, that Spider-Man. Those foil variants look cool. They're new production, but they look cool as shit.
Todd,
Yeah.
he's your friend.
What?
If he's gonna bring you down the road to addiction, just know that your children, my children, out of the house. I don't have to care. I don't have to worry about them anymore.
No, my children can get out of the house.
They can. Avery, this
What?
is the honest to God truth. And Todd, say it with me. Your children are smart enough that they can earn their way into college. You don't have to pay for it.
I will repeat.
You
what
don't have to
said.
pay for it.
Your children, Andrew, are smart enough to put their way through college.
Your children are. Mine weren't.
So you're fair enough.
Sorry.
Oh, God.
Get the fudge out.
What'd you find?
Oh, never mind. It's the Mexico cover.
Avery's going down the deep end with this shit.
Well, dude, I just saw one that's a 9.9, but it's the Mexican cover.
He's turning you on to this cocaine habit, but it's the laced ones coming out. It's the laced cocaine coming out of Mexico.
That's right.
I was about to say a 9.9. Get out. $500. Oh, it's the Mexican foil cover. Never mind.
Yeah.
I was like a 9.9, $500. I'd buy it. I'd buy it, hang on to it for a couple of years, and see.
MK says moved from eBay to La eBay.
Yeah. I don't know why they're putting out those badass foil covers in Mexico.
Because they're buying them.
Yep, exactly. Americans are buying them.
Yeah.
They're paying big money for them.
Yeah, they are. I mean, hell, man, as long as something's selling, I guess. As long as something is selling.
You know what's so funny is at the end of the weekend, after I'm done with all my sales for the weekend, I transfer whatever money I made from credit card sales into my business checking account, and then I transfer a portion of it into my savings so I can just sit on it, right? Well, the only problem is my business savings account is a interest bearing account, so it doesn't grow, it doesn't get interest. So I'm literally just putting it in there just to put it aside.
Why would you? Okay.
Yeah, I know. But this past weekend, when I got done moving my money I got from the PayPal account, and actually somebody paid me via Cash App, so I went ahead and transferred that money in too. I had a decent amount of extra money. I've almost spent it all. That's okay.
I remember the time.
Almost is not the same thing.
I remember the time you came to New York and to New York Comic Con with me and blew like several $1,000s on original art.
Yep, I had such a good time. Such a great time.
I know you did. I know you did.
So,
you still have that picture somewhere, I'm sure.
I'm sure I do. I honestly don't know where it's at. So
he took a picture. He spread out all these pages across my entire living room, all over from the couch all the way on the floor. Like my entire floor was covered with original art, and he took a photo of it.
Yep, we had such a good time that year.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
I still really do enjoy going to conventions.
Oh, I know. I'm sure. You still thinking about doing New York this year?
Nope. Not even going to try.
Just because?
Well, Well, they're already sold out of tickets, and they sold out like day one.
Oh wow!
And there was no email about pro badges or anything this year. I think that's because they declined us last year. So,
how many of those? Oh, sorry. By the way, Todd, I'm back. Been back for a while.
Oh.
Sorry, I had to. I'm cooking something, so I was from running back and forth between here and my stove.
Yeah, you're good.
So how many of those tickets do you think were scooped up by bots and are now being hawked by scalpers for like 10 times face value or more?
The like regular tickets? Oh, well, crap load of them.
Yeah.
Crap load of them.
You know, I'm gonna sound like an old man here, and technically I am. So I'm 46, which is like middle aged. Sorry, Todd. The first time I went to NYCC was 2006 thereabouts, 2007, and I remember because it was literally a last minute thing for me. And I walked there like the Friday, the day of. They had an actual ticket booth there, and they had tickets for sale there the day of on a Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And I just was able to buy them, walk right in. No security, no nothing. Just walked into the front door, got my ticket. An hour later, 5 minutes later, I was on the show floor. 2 years later, I had to stand. I was standing in line for an hour to get in, and of course, they basically had to be cavity searched before they would let you even scan your badge.
Yeah.
Well, that was probably just you.
Well, everyone has their thing. I won't.
Yeah.
All right, let's not go there. But here's the funny thing: my late father, worked in the city during when the Javits Center in New York was being built, and it was a scandal at the time because it was just basically completely mobbed up. I mean, everybody working on that was a gangster, and half the people working there were basically working no-show jobs, which probably explains why the roof leaks. At least they did when I was there. Of course, MegaCon in Orlando was different. I mean, that convention center is like the size of a small city.
Oh yeah. Well, Javits is pretty big too. So
They added to Javits. They added a whole brand new building to Javits.
Well, the last time I was there, I mean, the problem was is that a lot of people were showing up, and all they wanted to do was get into the panels and see trailers that would be on the internet like 2 days after the con ended anyway.
Right.
And, and listen to their stars being asked candid. That's the thing, because when I was there the first time, the panel hosts would actually ask the people questions, and and now they're just literally reading off a list. And it's boring. But what happened was that last year I went there, they moved all the really major panels out of the con center to some of the theaters in Midtown Manhattan. So you literally had to leave the con if you wanted to go to the theaters, and if you wanted to get back in, you had to get back in line because because the fire marshal was because of capacity issues with the fire marshal. I stopped going after that. It's also the same year I stopped going to the New York State Renaissance Fair, but mostly because I was tired. I was tired of all the drunk dads from Long Island, shouting abuse at the fake jousters. Not sure why they were doing that.
Well, I'll be honest. The last time I went to New York Comic Con wasn't last year, but it was the year before, and I went with my son and my brother-in-law, and Todd was not there. And we had a miserable show.
Yeah. Well, Todd makes everything better. You hear that, Todd?
He does. If you ever go to a convention with you, if your feet start to hurt, he will sit down and rub your feet there.
No,
he doesn't care. He doesn't care who's watching. He'll rub your feet, and he'll give you a back massage. He'll take good care of you.
Yeah.
Wait, why didn't I get this treatment when we were in New York?
Yeah, wait a minute. I mean, Todd, are you holding out on me?
They'll take you in the bathroom stall, give you a handy.
No.
No.
MK says, buddy of mine did TampaCon Went Friday. Didn't bother going back Saturday and Sunday. Nothing really interesting. I thought about going. I heard Tampa was okay. I was thinking about maybe doing that next year.
Tampa, I think, was last weekend.
I mean, look, honestly,
Yeah.
I only ever go to the cons just to go to the show floors. Honestly, I'm not one for the panels because, like I said, they don't show you anything interesting. I mean, they never really. Well, actually, sometimes they do. I mean, when I went to MegaCon, I went to the panel with Sam Raimi, and he told some interesting stories. Unfortunately, he was only there for about half an hour, which is the other reason why I don't go to panels. You're in line for like an hour for a 30-minute panel.
Yeah.
But
All right, for the 4 books I just won,
all right.
after I paid the shipping and taxes on it, the average for each of the books was less than if I had the books and got them graded myself by $2 a piece. So, for
Profit.
me, it's a damn good deal. That's right. That's right.
That's not bad.
Now you got to mark them up 300%.
Or I mark one up and then put the other 3 on my bookshelf.
Then you got to mark that one up 900%. Rules of acquisition.
There's yes, Ferengi Master.
You're
Ferengi
learning.
Master.
Step 1, collect underpants. Step 2, step 3, profit.
Oh.
Actually, this was probably these auctions, these last 4 are probably the best ones I've gotten so far. Overall average, $26 a piece was the overall average. Looking at all my other ones, that one was $38 a piece. This one was $30. So maybe I'm getting better at this. We'll see. We will see.
Getting better at it.
Yeah.
So Zach, how you doing, man? What's going on with you? How's everything?
I'm fine. I'm just well, I'm all right. I've been better. I've been worse. I could complain, but who's gonna listen? I wish I was a millionaire, but I still wake up poor. But if I was a millionaire, I would hate every minute of it. And remember the days when I was poor and happy. Life is life is a never-ending wheel of confusion and strangeness, with
Yes.
moments of happiness interspersed between moments of misery. And sometimes what you think is misery is happiness is really happiness, and sometimes what you think is happiness is actually the worst form of suffering.
I love how you're doing the Hemingway thing right now. That's great.
Well, I'm also somewhat drunk, so that helps.
Well, it's Friday. It's fine.
Hey, listen, I mean, just be glad I can't stand the smell of pot, because otherwise I'd be on a roll here. And
It'd be high. And
well, that's the funny thing is that the last time I think the second time I ever touched the wacky tobacco, I don't remember that much of it, except that I ended up in a stairwell outside my friend's dorm room where we were having a party, babbling in tongues.
the devil's lettuce, jazz cabbage.
Of course, this was
Devil's lettuce.
This was like 1996, so God knows what would happen if I smoked today's skunk. I mean, some of that stuff is so overpowered. You just look at it and you turn schizophrenic.
That's why I've made a concerted effort to never in my life having touched the stuff.
No, well, the other problem I had is that the second to last time I did it,
Wait, what? wait, what did you say, Todd? What have you never touched?
He's never touched little boys, Andrew.
he's never touched the wacky tobacco.
The jazz
Never touched the wacky tobacco.
Yeah,
jazz cabbage.
Not me.
You do realize why he's saying that, because we're recording this and his daughters may one day watch it.
Yeah, well, look,
I guarantee you,
I
the
wanted
last
to
thing
watch
any of
you,
my
Dad.
children will ever want to do is watch us talk shit about comics and other dumb nerd shit.
No.
Todd, chances are your one of your daughters is going to grow up to be the next Wheezy. So,
Probably, yes.
or the next Gail Simone. Although I'm not sure if that's
Oh God,
that's something to aspire to.
that's just mean, sir.
Yeah, that's wrong, dude.
Hey,
You started with a compliment.
I could have said.
That's literally like saying, your daughter could grow up to be Taylor Swift or Lizzo. One or the other.
Hey, it could have been worse. I could have said G. Willow Wilson, but then I'm fairly certain Todd would get in his car, drive from Charlotte to Daytona Beach, and hunt me down with a McVitie.
Oh.
Because let's not forget, as Todd is an original Florida man. I'm just a transplant.
This is true. This is true.
I mean, you're
I
the
know
one
that state fairly well.
You're the one who grew up in a trailer park in Jacksonville.
I grew up in a trailer.
That was Avery.
Oh, you're on that. You're the one who grew up in Jacksonville, dude. All right. I mean, I'm only from Brooklyn.
I lived on 118th Street in Jacksonville in a trailer park, yo.
Yeah, Avery was the real deal.
All right. Sorry, Todd.
You're good.
Don't apologize. I mean,
Todd lived in Bay Meadows.
I mean,
well, I never lived in Bay Meadows. I was in Mandarin.
I mean, look. I mean,
right next to Bay Meadows.
Could be worse. She could be the next
cross
Kevin
the
Smith.
street and you're in Bay Meadows.
Todd, could be worse. She could be the next Kevin Smith.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh.
This is true.
When he was funny or now?
No, Kevin Smith as the comic book writer who literally turns stuff in like half a year out of date, which is the reason why the Green Hornet, which is why his run on the Green Hornet crashed and burned.
Dude, he used to be funny. He cries at the drop of a hat now.
Yeah, he's an interesting guy.
No, he's not anymore. He's the opposite of interesting.
Oh,
it's terrible now. He used to be funny, dude. He used to remember all the edgy, shitty jokes. It's all politically correct and crying at Marvel movie endings and what's wrong with you, dude?
Oh, Zach, Carrot says, read chapter 1 of your book. Enjoyed it. Need to read the next chapter.
All right. Well, it's on the website. It's on the whatchamacallit, the Substack. So just head over there and read.
Carrots, we were talking about it earlier. I don't remember if you I'm sure you were here, but one of the maybe that was Green Room talk.
That was Green Room talk, yeah.
Green Room. We were thinking about Zach is trying to get people onboarded at $5 a month for it's not Patreon. It's
Substack. It's a Substack.
Substack, right? It's Substack. So he's trying to get people onboarded at $5 a month for Substack. And I was thinking if he just did if he put the whole book into a email sequence, it's an 800-page book or something. So why not put a couple pages a day in there? It takes time to build, of course, but at the end of it, you'd have a 365-day email sequence that anyone who comes in starts, people can come into that email sequence for the next decade, right? And then just at the bottom of every single email is hey, if you want to short circuit the process,
Yeah, you see, honestly, I did think about that, but you got to realize that this is coming in as an email. And the way I see it, if it just comes in every day, it's going to get people. People might read it, or they may just start ignoring it, or relegating it to spam, which won't help me. Whereas if it comes in once a week, it's something they're going to notice, because if they're not getting it every single day, they're only getting it once a week. And I read the stats on it, and it's interesting. One of the posts, they're generally getting right now. They're generally getting about 1,200 views, for each post, which is for an email blast is really good. Out of a list of 3,000 plus. But about 40% of the reads on those posts are upwards of 4 days after they receive it. They're getting it, and they're going back to it.
Right. They say, "Oh, this is cool. I want to look at it on the weekend or when I have free time."
Yeah. So I'm so like blast them every single day. That's just I think after a while, it's just going to be like it's just going to overwhelm them. I think.
Yeah, you become spam.
Yeah. That's the thing. I don't want to. I mean,
MK says, yeah. Well, Carrot says interesting. Wonder if anyone tried that model. MK says drop it on a Saturday once a week. Enjoy their weekend.
yeah, I'm doing it on Mondays. I might switch it over.
I mean, you could do that. I mean, if you did a chapter, how many chapters is it?
It's about 28, but I'm splitting them up into like 2 or 3 like posts per chapter. So it's going to take me the better part of a year to get through this.
Yeah. So then there you go. So do a chapter or a couple pieces to a chapter.
Yeah.
Once a week on a weekend, on like a Friday, a Thursday, right? Do it on a I mean, MK started a Saturday, but if they're reading it later, toss it to them on a Wednesday or probably a Thursday, and then they'll read it on Saturday or Sunday, and then in the bottom of that email say, hey, this is literally say this is part one of 57 or something, or number.
Yeah.
This is part 13 of 60. If you want to go ahead, if you want to get the whole book now, click the button below and support me, and you'll get my book. Plus, you'll get a whole bunch of other stuff. Go check it out, right?
Yeah,
I bet you over time it'll start converting, because it's permanent. It's something you don't have to ever worry about it again.
No. I mean, I'm like I said, I'm still figuring this out. I'm gonna wait and see. How Monday's drop goes. Well, how Monday's blast goes, and I might switch it over to Thursday. Definitely gonna start tweaking it a bit. The good thing about Substack is that you can actually insert like a little snippet of code in the post, the paywall, past a certain point. So, and there's if you're not like, so there's like a big button in the email that says, hey, if you want to read more, click here, you cheap bastards, or something like that. But obviously not with that exact wording.
I mean, you could. That'd be funny. Carrot says, have you looked at Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing?
I've been publishing on Amazon Kindle for years. Well, on and off for years. Yeah, I know. Hugh Howey's like look. I've had some success with Amazon Kindle. The problem is, and the reason why I went to Substack with this is because it's, I don't know what the stats are right now, but it's something like 1,000 books a day are being published on Amazon Kindle KDP right now. Now, granted, a lot of them are at least about a huge chunk of them are nonfiction. Self-help books, financial books, stuff about this and that, or marketing. But a lot of them are also fiction. And there's some sometimes like 100 or plus fantasy sci-fi books being going out every day. It's like a pond in which people are throwing rocks. In the beginning, there's there aren't that many rocks being thrown in, so each splash stands out. And so imagine now, like someone's out there with like a giant automatic catapult, and it's spewing rocks in a never-ending stream into the pond, so that's constantly being churned. So like each individual splash, it doesn't really stand out. Maybe like some of them may catch the attention. A lot of people have success at KDP. They what they do is they find a niche that's not being served, or that's or like something that's really hyper specific. Like, for example, there's a lot of like harem tales being written right now, basically like lit RPG harem tales, where people are basically writing them up as like they were RPG games, but there's also a lot of like naked women who want to have sex with you, which probably explains that there's a lot of geeks on there. So but like regular fantasy, I mean, it's like I said, there's just a lot of it's like, unless your book is like a boulder and it basically hits the water as a giant cannonball splash, or for whatever reason your splash catches yes, I'm talking about splashes, catches some eyes. I mean, unless you're like really good, it'll probably sink without a trace. Unless you're willing to spend a lot of money on advertising. And look, I mean, the fact is, I at this point, I figure if I can build up the Substack, build up a loyal fan base, build up the 1,000 super fans that people talk about, build on that. Because let's be honest, the bestseller list nowadays, they don't mean anything.
Right.
I mean, the top movies out there. People are paying so much attention to the Hollywood strike right now. When the fact is that most people, like those guys, are still operating in analog, and we're basically post-digital at this point. They're still stuck in like 1995, and some of them are thinking, well, hey, maybe we should take the internet more seriously. Well, we're past that now. We're now on Web3, where people aren't just watching stuff on YouTube and TikTok anymore. They're doing what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought about Amazon. I've done Amazon. It's just the competition is too high, and honestly, I think that approach of like just trying to like do it, trying to get readers the traditional way. It's just that it's like everybody has a story to tell. Most people can't tell it very well, but the thing about self-publishing is that yes, it opens the gate for people who are previously excluded. Most of those people can't write really well, and it's hard to stand out. And I would rather write for 1,000 fans who like my work and are willing to support it than to throw my rock into the pond in the hope that it'll make enough of a splash to get some momentary attention. I mean, some people do that and they're successful. I just think that it's a really big roll of the dice nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there are people who succeed at that, but what they do is that they just churn out books. I mean, I've seen indie writers who are able to like pump out a new book, like a 40,000 word novella every month, and that's only going to get bigger with AI. I'll be honest, because there's already books with AI going out there. People are making money off of it. The thing about AI writing, sorry if I'm rambling, by the way.
No, you're good. It's
the
good.
Thing about AI writing, and this is where I kind of roll my eyes at people screaming, "Oh, AI is gonna replace human writers." No, it's not. It's not going to. I mean, if you actually work with like Pseudowrite or ChatGPT for a while, what it'll do is it'll generate basically a very, very, very rough draft of a novel, depending on how much information you put into the prep. Like with Pseudowrite, they actually have a plotting software, which will create like a rough outline based on how much information you put in there. So you are writing. You're writing the synopsis. You're writing the characters. You're writing all the beats for each individual chapter. But once it cranks that shit out, I mean, the fact is that the prose is serviceable. I mean, it can mimic certain styles, but it's still you still have to go in there as an actual writer, go through it line by line, and just do a hell of a lot of cleanup.
Mm-hmm.
It's not replacing a human writer. It's a big aid because you're like it's 70% of the scut work is being done, so it's a massive speed up. But you still got to go in there and put in the work. You still have to. If anything, with like AI writing, editing skills are even more important because you have to go in there and essentially like clean up like clunky text, crappy dialogue, and so on and so forth. So no, I mean maybe someday it'll change, but I don't think we're there yet. I mean it's like the same thing with people saying AI is going to replace artists. No, it isn't. I mean you can create art on
it's just a tool, right?
Journey, yeah, but the fact is, I mean, like Avery, you can back me up on this. Half the time you have to go in there and clean up a lot of the mistakes that Midjourney makes. It doesn't matter how good it's improving, but they still can't get hands right. And
it's getting better. Stable Diffusion does hands better. There's people they'll start with Midjourney, then take it to Stable Diffusion. But it's getting better. Do I think it replaces artists? It helps with the scut work.
Yeah.
Doing a lot of rapid design concept stuff. It helps with that. Do I think it produces finished publishable pieces?
Right.
Not quite. Because of the problems, the mistakes it still makes.
Well, I think with AI writing, a lot of people who are complaining about this are basically a lot of old school writers who basically made their bones in the old system. Like someone like George R. R. Martin, he got his start writing in the old fantasy sci-fi mags. Those magazines don't really exist anymore. I mean, they do as websites, but they don't have a tenth of the readership they once did. I mean, it used to be you go to Barnes and Noble, you'd find Omni, Marion Zimmer Bradley's fantasy magazine, World of Fantasy, Isaac Asimov's magazine. I mean, Amazing Tales in its various incarnations, and that's how you got started, by writing for the mags. I mean, I tried. I mean, but the internet put an end to that. And the thing is that I think what's going to get hurt, and I think this is true for comic books and regular books, is like the old idea of like the auteur writer, who pumps out like an epic like once every 5 or 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
Unless there's someone who already has a name and who already has a fan base, like someone like say Tad Williams, it's not going to work because, like it or not, the way the system's being set up now is that it rewards volume as much as it does quality, and that's both a good thing and a bad thing, I guess. I mean, with AI, you can crank out there are stories of some people cranking out novels in 3 days. Most of those novels most of those things aren't very good because again, editing. But I think the old way of writing is going to have to change.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're not going to be able to be George R. R. Martin anymore. Like going like 10 years between books.
Yeah, I think a lot of things are changing. I mean, I love it. I think it's fantastic.
Well, I mean, it's got its good points and its bad points. I mean, one of the big complaints that people are having that's going on right now is that, see, the way writing AI works, and I think with Midjourney as well, is that they create the AI engine, but it has to be trained, and the way you train it is by having it scrape the internet. So there's a big stink now about like fanfic writers who say they don't want AI scraping their work on fanfic sites. I mean, most of that stuff isn't very good, but it is what it is.
Yeah, most of that stuff is shit.
And like they're scraping, like there's like millions of free books out there digitized on the internet. Basically AI scrapes them, puts them into the database. And the big complaint people are having now is that it's saying, hey, wait a minute, if you're ripping off my writing style, I want royalties. Which begs the question, how do you calculate that?
Yeah, let's have every writer who was inspired by Hemingway pay royalties.
Well, that's the thing, is that, I mean, the genie's out of the bag. I mean, you can use this. And there are a lot of writers who are using this as a tool right now. I mean, yes.
Genies.
Yeah, I know. I should have. Well, yes, I know the metaphor.
That's an Andrewism, mixing metaphors like that.
Yeah. I mean, look, I hate to say it, but
Isn't that where genies come out of? Bags?
No, bottle. A cat out of the bag, genie out of the bottle.
I think the problem that AI. I think the problem.
Well, hold on, Carrots. Hold on, Zach. Carrot said, "Yeah, tough to get a pile of magazines rejection letters to nail on the wall like King if there are no magazines."
Yeah,
it's true.
No, I mean, look, I did that for years. I couldn't break in. I tried the self-publishing thing. I had some success at it. I mean, I made some money. I mean, in the end, I ended up spending more than I made, which is true for most writers. I mean, look, the hard truth is most creatives don't make a living doing what they do. And I wish it was otherwise. I mean, Avery, I wish I was a ready version of Avery, but I'm not. I mean, I don't make a lot of money.
I
still have to work a day job, But and it's like the funny thing about the Hollywood strike right now. If you look at a lot of those guys, most actors can't support themselves acting. Most members of the Screen Actors Guild, they do not support themselves as actors. They're working other jobs, and they're hustling acting gigs in between, like whatever it is they're doing, whatever it is they're actually doing for a living. That's true of writers as well. I think AI is going to, we might change that. I think my personal view about AI and acting, and I'll be really happy if I'm wrong about this, is that gonna make it's probably gonna put a lot of flesh and blood actors out of work.
Oh yeah.
Because like if you watch game trailers right now, like they're obviously cartoons, but they're a lot better than they were 10 years ago. And I think we're getting to the point now where you will, like you guys saw like The Mandalorian, where they basically had, like a younger version of Mark Hamill playing with Skywalker, right? And it was obviously AI, and it wasn't very good, but it's better than the Polar Express was. And I think like the Uncanny Valley, in my view, disappears if it's in a pure CGI environment, because what killed it was like you were comparing like the CGI Mark Hamill to like the actual live actors around him, and you could tell the difference was there. It was subtle, but it was there. If they were all CGI, you probably wouldn't have noticed that much because there was no point of comparison. I think AI. With AI, I've mentioned.
No, they still would, because that's part of what freak people out when Final Fantasy came out.
Yeah, well, yeah, but the thing is, the technology now is so much better than the Final Fantasy movie was.
Yeah,
I think, and like I said, I mentioned before, what's probably going to happen is, we're going to end up with AI that's able to do like 90% of the scut work for digital animation. Like right now, one of the reasons why it takes so long to animate anything, you really have to do most things by hand. But if you can like eliminate 70% of that and just let the guys focus on the fun stuff, which is like writing the script, directing the scenes, then use stuff like then you use whatever platforms I use for graphic design to basically create digital actors who are pretty much lifelike from views, which is what you get right now, or license movie stars from the past. Like for example, can you imagine like say a romantic action comedy starring a young Harrison Ford, Audrey Hepburn as the female lead, and say Humphrey Bogart as the crusty sidekick? And I have a feeling that by the time all of us are old men, you included, Dusty. Well, actually, in your case, Dusty, you'll probably be middle aged. No offense.
Dusty's almost. I mean, he. I did get him his first drinks in New York. So.
All right. Well, look. I think by the time we're all old men and you're approaching middle age, as a handsome tech billionaire that we're all going to be sponging off of.
Well, I don't know, man. You all got like bad backs and gray hairs and all of that. I'm a little worried about all that.
I already got a bad back. Don't mock it. But by the time that happens, I have a feeling that like live actors in a movie, it's gonna be it's gonna be like going to a play, going to a Broadway show. It's an old art form that's still kept on as a heritage, but that's not like anywhere near close to the universality it once was. I don't think that's going to be an issue with writing because, at the end of the day, ChatGPT, pseudo-write, they don't actually create stuff. They just basically copy. They basically like it's the best quote machine ever made. It can regurgitate millions upon millions of plot points and and hooks and beats and whatnot, but it doesn't actually create stuff. For that, you need a human being. Anyway, rant over. I think Drew is getting bored, so I'll stop.
Andrew.
Andrew.
Yes.
Just screwing with you, man. Oh,
dude. What do you think?
I think you passed middle age like 10 years ago.
Oh.
Oh man.
Andrew, that's so mean.
Sorry.
We talk about building your own audience.
Yeah.
Todd, Andrew, you guys know who Mandy Summers is, correct?
Yes.
I'll be right back, guys.
She just launched Jack the Ripper 2. Jack the Ripper Vampire Hunter 2 on Indiegogo. But before that, she launched it on her own site, her own platform. And now the Indiegogo has now hit $24,000, which has now put the project over $100,000.
Oh,
I mean, she started out very, very small with that Worth the Wizard book, and now she's breaking six figures. Her and Peter Gilmore. Check this out. I'm going to share the cover. One of the covers. This is one of the covers.
Hold on, I see it.
So total so far, she's broke $100,000 between.
Oh, that's a
Dale
Dale Keown, yeah.
That's the Dale Keown variant.
God damn, dude.
She's broke $100,000, and most of it on her own platform. Most of that 100,000 was on her site.
Very cool.
Dale Keown is so good.
Yeah. And Peter Gill, I sent you a copy of the first book, Todd, because I got two.
Yeah, I've got it right over here. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think I already backed it on her own site. I think. If I didn't, I'm going to double check. If I haven't, I'm going to back this because I kind of dug it.
Yeah, that's pretty dope.
But this is amazing, dude. When she started out, man, people talked a lot of shit about Mandy. And now
people talk a lot of shit about a lot of people.
Yeah, but now she's doing all right, man. That's pretty good. But she, slow and steady, man. She's blowing up.
Yeah.
And she's got that Gem Shock book that she created with Dale Keown.
One funny thing I found, actually, I just signed up for this. You guys know who Patti Smith is, right? Like she was like one of the original punks from the 70s.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. She has a Substack right now.
Oh, cool.
Apparently, she loves it. I mean, she's always putting stuff out. I mean, she just puts whatever comes in her mind. She just puts it out there. So that's interesting. I mean, look, I think, there's going to be new gatekeepers that come up eventually. Just because, the thing is, when you open the door for everybody goes in. And that's what happened with self-publishing. So there's going to have to be a way to separate the wheat from the chaff, but it won't be like it was. It's not like you're going to have to, send your book off to some copy editor, some junior editor working in a Manhattan office who got 20 or 30 scripts to go through, 20 or 30 manuscripts to go through in a single day on a slush pile, and it's of course nowadays it's probably going to be subjecting it to political or whatever political whatnot, or a comic artist who if you want to work, you got to be in an office in New York City, the original.
Hey Dusty.
Sorry, I'm ranting again. I'll shut up.
No, you're good. You're good. I just had to let Dusty. Hey, Dusty.
Yeah.
I sent you something via Discord. Go check that out when you get a chance.
Hey.
Oh. Okay.
I'll send you a couple things. You'll enjoy them. It's great.
Todd, can I ask you a question?
Yo.
Reminisce time. So, I've been rereading Mark Howey's biography of basic biography of Marvel, which goes up to I think the first early 2010, early 2000s after it got bought by Disney.
Uh-huh.
And he describes the old bullpen.
Yep.
And old Marvel bullpen in New York. Yep. Now it doesn't exist anymore, obviously, but at least not. But were you there when it was still going?
So the original Marvel bullpen, I got to see it when I went to New York early in the 1993, I think I went up there. In Marvel, it was the old Marvel offices, and they had it was in the center at that time, and it was if you look at the classic photos from the 80s, they changed it. So the Marvel bullpen was in the center. They had all the artists, and all the editors were kind of around the corners, and so I got to. That was awesome. And then when I got there, the guys that I was with, they had moved it into Marvel Digital, like Marvel Media, and so we were basically. This is kind of funny, man. Technically speaking, we were the last of the bullpen. It was me and two other guys, and I was the only one with an anim. I brought my animation table from the house, and so I was technically speaking, and there's no one that can deny this, I was the last traditional artist at Marvel. So when I got there was another guy, and I cannot remember his name, he had a name like Pond Scum or something like that. Like he was kind of this punk rock name, and it was something like that. I can't remember his name. I never got a chance to meet him because like 2 or so weeks after they hired me, they fired him, and he was like an inker and a paste up guy, and he had like a drawing table, and he was like one of the main guys. He had been there for a long time, and they let him go, and I brought my animation table in, and so I was kind of like the last guy to be there, and I believe the first and only one that ever brought animation stuff in the place. So I mean, Avery was there. He saw it.
Yep. Oh yeah.
So it was I put one of Avery's drawings like front and center on the wall. It was like this Avery has a drawing that he gave me. It's Wolverine versus a Sentinel, and it was fucking awesome. And so I put it up in the center of the wall, and so all these like celebrities and all these people that would come by would be like, "That's awesome, man! Did you do that?" I'm like, "Nah, man, my friend Avery did. He's dope." I'm like, "Oh, that's cool."
That's right, dude. I could never get hired at Marvel, but my artwork was hanging.
I was like, "Fuck it," and I don't know why I didn't last there. I don't really understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look,
that's wild.
Given the way Marvel's kind of been run into the ground over the past decade or so. Sorry, cat. Kind of a sad thing. I mean, it's like one of those. I guess it's like one of those things you wish you was probably like more awesome in like nostalgia terms than actually was in real life. Because if you were actually there.
Yeah, I mean, it was like it was. You have to understand what I mean. It's not necessarily any different than any other production studio that has their artists there. But what makes it good, what made it cool was the fact that there was like what they were doing. You know what I mean? Like it's like an animation studio or an art studio or whatever, but it was just like at that time Marvel Comics was all like, especially before the time I got there, like Marvel Comics was like the shit. You know what I mean? Like they ran stuff at that point. And so, to be part of that engagement, that engaging area during the height of, height of comics and height of the birth of popular culture is pretty awesome.
Well, the funny thing I read though is that Jack Kirby himself, by the time Marvel really broke out in the '60s, he was already working from home, basically from a home studio. He was he would just mail his stuff in or hand deliver it once a week. So it's weird to think that the greatest artist of all, was ever really a part of the bullpen. At least.
Mm-hmm.
And all those big artists from the '90s that we all revere, they were all working from home too. They're faxing their sheets in or like overnight mailing it. But
oh man, the era of books being late because FedEx lost pages.
Is that a real thing?
Yes, it did happen.
Yep, it sure did.
So I wonder if Rob Liefeld ever used that excuse when he was working on Youngblood.
No, they were all just being slow as shit because they were making so much money per issue. They were making ridiculous. When Image first started, they were making ridiculous amounts of money per issue because all the money was theirs. They were making hundreds of thousands of dollars per book.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean it's be nice if the art form came back to that level of prominence again.
I would like to see that level of prominence, but I want to see it for indie creators.
Or more specifically, you want to see it for your independent creations, I imagine.
Absolutely, I would love to make $100,000 per book.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's funny because people talk about how manga is taking over the world right now. If you look at the way manga writers actually live and work, they don't get paid a whole lot.
No,
and they're basically chained to their desk 6 days out of 7 for 14 hours a day. I mean, it's kind of sad if you think about it. I mean, they're creating stuff that's, whatever you think of manga. I mean, Fist of the North Star is a classic. Rurouni Kenshin is a classic, but a lot of these guys, they They barely make minimum wage in Japan. They do it because they love it.
I barely make minimum wage.
Yeah. Yeah, look, I mean, after 14 years of like grinding out websites, I'm definitely ready for a change.
Anyway.
Yep. And on that note, because now the booze is wearing off and the hangover's kicking in, so
That's fine.
I'm getting maudlin.
No, you're good. What? Just out of before we call it for the evening, Andrew, is there anything else? What should we expect? What are you working on? What's coming up in your shop? What's going on? What is that?
Whatever that is, we're not looking at this.
What is this? Who posted this?
Oh, jeez.
I'm looking at Twitter.
Oh,
What the
yeah.
hell is that? I don't even understand. Is that a dog?
Yes.
It's two dogs.
No,
No,
it's a dog.
It's just
Sitting
one
on
dog.
He's
Okay,
sitting on his head.
great. Your Twitter is very different than my Twitter, sir.
Yeah.
It's a dog with a pair of sunglasses on its ass.
Just a way to say goodnight. That's all.
That's
Just
great. Leave
leave
thanks.
with a laugh.
Thanks.
Not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. It's great. Well, everybody, love you so much. Tobias, thank you, sir, for coming out. Welcome, whatever that means. MK, Carrots, everyone else, thank you so much for showing up. KG, love you guys. Have a great weekend. Man, 2 more weeks until Web3 Comic-Con, guys.
Notice he didn't mention Rick because we don't like Canadians here.
Rick, no, Carrots is a Canadian, but Carrots is acceptable.
Oh, okay.
Canada and Canada.
Canadian.
Canada.
You know, we almost made it. We almost made it without offending the audience.
I'm glad we only. I'm
Canadian.
glad we only insulted one country this evening.
Hey, I think that dog picture insulted a bunch of people in Vietnam.
I know.
So
That's true.
Oh
my God.
Shit.
Oh my God.
And that's one of the
MK,
reasons
thank you.
I'm
We'll
gonna
keep
come
up the
there.
hustle. Have a great weekend.
Holy
Bye.